this is the mountain. So much to say about this one. Just a mountainful, if you will. You know, you ever watch like that weird movie when you're a little kid that's like really trippy and makes no sense, and you just kind of watch it like this? That was kind of my experience with this episode. It's Lemongrab and his kingdom treating his people a bit better, I guess. They still had to carry him, form a long line and carry him to his bed, but, you know, he's not, like, beating them, I guess. And he looks on his ceiling, and there's, like, this mural that has, like, this... I don't know how to move on to the next existential plane or something like that. And he just decides he wants to go... No, they're like... It starts to crack a little bit, like the head of one of them starts to crack and like a little worm or something comes out. So he goes to go on this journey on the mountain. Finn sees Flame Princess, wants to get distracted, so he goes and follows him. And they enter this trippy mountain where you can kind of choose one of these three paths. If you choose the right one, that takes you to like the center, which is called Matthew. Lemongrab is looking to join with him for... I'm not gonna lie, I blanked out. What was gonna happen if he joined with him? I was already like just so... So what was it?
Basically, Matthew, or the Mountain of Matthew, it's where beings and people come to become like boiled down to their base existence and become part of him. So therefore, when the second terror comes, he'll be whole.
So when was the first terror like the Stitch or
did you just
Stitch?
call him the Stitch?
I know. I just said like the past couple ones I got it right.
Oh, that
where'd it go?
Come back.
Where'd it go?
I'll get it. They can look at my butt. Look at my butt.
Look at that butt. Look at that butt. Actually, he's adorable. Look at that. He literally just got this in the mail today, and yeah, I can see why you got that, because that's amazing.
Sorry, go on. No,
what was the first terror? Did they say what it was?
No, we don't know.
Okay. I was making sure that was something I didn't miss. So, you know, Lemongrab... So I'm trying to even remember now. So Finn's kind of like, nah, this doesn't sound right, or I guess I'll miss you. But no, Lemongrab, no, what? He throws the little lemon drops or whatever into Lemonjons.
Do you remember who Lemonjon was?
Remind me.
Okay, the giant.
It's been a whole week, man.
I know, it's been a week. Basically his giant castle was a giant lemon being.
Okay.
Who pretty much committed suicide and turned into a whole bunch of basically lemon heads.
Okay, so...
They're called Lemonjons now because his name was Lemonjon.
So he threw the lemons into
because they are
Matthew.
part of him.
Okay, and that turned into just a bunch of other little lemon grabs? Kind of? What happened?
Okay, so... Since Lemonjon was pretty much made kind of from Lemongrab, Lemonjons would be him. So if he's being boiled down to his base elements, but he's still there, what's going to happen?
I don't know.
So
a bunch of little hims walking around.
But they weren't him. Those were other people that went there to become part of Matthew.
They all looked alike, though, didn't they?
Well, yeah, they were all boiled down.
So, okay, so they got free?
Yeah, but they didn't want to be free.
So he just screwed everything up?
Kinda, yeah.
And they just went back home?
Yeah, because he's done now.
He's done now. And he just crashed into his bed and then just saw the little hole in the ceiling, took some of the goo and just threw it on there. And that was the mountain. What the hell am I supposed to say about this? I had no idea what to say about this. It was trippy. I mean, I always like some of those, you know, what am I looking for? I don't want to say booby traps, but like those choices you can make where it's like, which one do you choose? I always kind of like stories that have that you must choose one of these three. With Finn, I think it was only two, was there? Or did they have a third
No, the third one was the butterfly.
Oh, that's right. It's the butterfly.
Remember,
it's
that's
always
your
the
spirit
butterfly.
animal.
That's right. And you choose. They both choose a third one.
Yeah.
So they choose, the right one, and yeah, I kind of like the element. I like the idea of going to a mountain, especially ones that are gonna do like weird. How'd they put it? Bogus, wogus, hocus pocus. What was it again?
No, just go with that.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. That kind of stuff. Weird haunted stuff, and you have to make choices. You have to do that. Sort of the Indiana Jones-ish stuff. So I like all that. I like the trippiness, but I have no idea what this was about. I just know it was surreal, and I love surreal stuff. But I don't know what I'm gonna take from it. How about you?
Well, for one, I'm guessing, and I'm curious. I don't honestly know if the Mountain of Matthew is a reference to the Mountains of Madness from H.P. Lovecraft. Which I'm kind of... Because that's... Yeah. So that's one thing. Two, for me, it's more or less it's the search for yourself. It's... If you boil yourself down to, like, just the basic you, can you still be something else? Or are you stuck in that path? And I think that's kind of what Lemongrab was looking for.
I guess, but does he... What kind of comes of it, though? I mean, just he messes up these other guys that wanted to be melted down, and now they're not, and okay, I'm done. Is it that there's just nothing to him? I mean, that he is just kind of this... He's looking at himself, and that's it? There's nothing deeper? I mean, because you did kind of see, like... There are these other weird temptations and stuff,
I did love Bubblegum with the catcher's mitt, or the baseball mitt, with the other mitt playing catch.
Well, I like it. When he goes to sleep, they put a mitt on him. I'm just like, why?
Well, remember last week, there was the room, like they were going through his castle, his kingdom, and there were a bunch of rooms with nothing but a mitt in each room. Mm-hmm. And we never figured out what that was for.
So we
finally see.
Well, that he just wants to play catch with the mitt.
Yeah, or maybe Peebles played catch with him when he was younger.
Oh, well, that's true, yeah, because they have that long connection. That very well could be. Yeah, he wants to return, like, maybe something of the past or something. That could be it.
It's like the three choices for each of them was kind of like the thing they're longing for the most, the thing they're afraid of, to an extent, and kind of like a more like this, the third option is kind of like beyond the other two.
Well, and the first one especially seemed both with the first two seemed like here's something that you really wanted from the past. Like even though Flame Princess is like still doing her exercises or whatever, it's still something that he was close to having in the past.
Yeah.
And then with Lemongrab, doing that activity was something from the past, and then with the new ruler, Lemongrab, Lemon Hope there, that's something that I'm assuming is more like either happening now or it's going to be happening.
Well, that would be the future.
Yeah, that's the future, and then the same thing with Finn, like they're making the Finn cakes. It's like, oh, I want Finn cakes, like that'll be something in the future. So, there is definitely like something from the past and from the future, and then like you said, that's a good way to put it, just something beyond them.
Yeah, it's not an earthly thing. It's not a normal something to long for. Like Lemongrab actually was like, no, don't hurt him. Almost like he's feeling something beyond
himself.
Yeah. And of course, Finn was just being Finn. But I love the whole them being on themselves, kind of like that infinite loop, if you will. I thought that was really kind of cool. Again, that whole thing of, do we live, one, I'm guessing, do we live a la Men in Black? Are we just in a marble, being played marbles with? Mm-hmm. Is that where our galaxy is and all that stuff? And it's kind of almost what that is. Are you just on yourself to an extent?
Mm-hmm. Just looking at yourself, like a mirror that has infinite possibilities and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, how far can you look into yourself before you finally get to that point where nothing changes?
Yeah, I kind of, you see a lot of those, like I was saying, the mirror looking into the mirror, like you said, Men in Black and the marble and stuff. And that's kind of an interesting idea, being a speck on yourself. That's kind of a fun, infinite reality kind of thing. It was just kind of a fun idea. Anything else you just took from it? Because I don't have much else, I'll be honest.
To me, I think that it shows Lemongrab has grown up, in a sense. Like, he's everything's being productive now. Like, things are actually getting done.
Yeah, and they're making stuff, and it's like, even this sort of journey, he's choosing to do it to kind of further himself, whether or not it worked or even had that big an impact on him. It's like he's making the effort. You're right, he is kind of evolving, even if it is like just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe even a lot by his standards, who knows?
I mean, remember last time, for the most part, he was already eating like his brother.
Yeah, I mean, he was really, really bad.
Yeah, and now it's like he's feeding everyone. They're actually doing things and being productive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are, of course, carrying him to bed, but I mean, I do that all the time with Jory. But no, like, to me, it's like a show of growth, They're all doing something productive instead of just kind of running around like idiots to an extent. And Lemongrab wanting to kind of like figure out more. It's like, I wonder what else is going on to an extent. It's showing growth. But yeah, in the end, it's kind of like, it's not like a philosopher that's like, I learned something, I'm going to write about it and tell the world. Lemongrab doesn't need to and doesn't care to. He learned it, that's all he needed to learn, and he's done.
Yeah, he just goes back to bed. And actually, I think I finally get the
crack?
Yeah. I'm just realizing, because it's like, it's almost like there's something missing in himself. There's like a crack, and then when he gets back, he fixes it. Like, fix that.
But what's he fix it with?
The stuff he was doing, the Lemonjon.
Himself.
Right? Yeah. Oh, good point.
He fixes it with himself, I don't know.
No, that sounds right. Better than my sperm analogy. You're doing so much better on these vlogs right now than I am. I'm not gonna lie. Usually I'm like, talking about all this stuff, and you're sort of saying it too. I'm just like, well, that was weird, that was pretty. And you're coming up with like these really cool analogies. I'm like, oh my god, write a book. Like, you can write a book on these things. No, that helped me out. You're a good teacher.
You're not getting a gold star. Do the truffle shuffle.